Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial secrets companies try to hide so well. Today, we're diving into TAO Synergies Incorporated's recent filings. Now, this isn't just another dry corporate report. We've got some interesting voting results and a peek into how they're planning to keep their team motivated. So grab your coffee because we're about to break down what really matters. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you enjoy getting unfiltered insights from official company documents like this, make sure you are subscribed. Also, we have a thriving Discord community dedicated to dissecting these filings, so check out the link in the description below to join the conversation. Alright, let's get straight to it. This is an 8K filing, which usually means something significant has happened, something the company needs to report right away. Think of it as a company's bulletin board for urgent news. Here we're looking at TAO Synergies Incorporated. They are based in Delaware, have a pretty standard corporate ID, and their main office is in New York City. Their stock trades on the Nasdaq Capital Market under the ticker symbol TAOX. One thing that stands out right away is that TAO Synergies Inc. identifies as an emerging growth company. This is important because it means they get to use some special rules designed to help newer, smaller companies grow without being bogged down by too many regulations. It is like getting a bit of a fast pass in the corporate world. Now, let's get to the meat of the matter, starting with something that often signals big changes or future plans, executive and director stuff. This section talks about changes in leadership or how the company plans to reward its key people. This part is actually pretty crucial. TAO Synergies Inc. stockholders approved a change to their equity incentive plan. Essentially, they increased the number of company shares that can be given out as stock options or awards to employees and executives. They are adding 500,000 more shares, bringing the total available under this plan to over 3.1 million shares. This tells us they are planning to keep their talent happy and motivated by tying their compensation to the company's stock performance. When a company wants to give out more stock to employees, it often means they are optimistic about the future and want their team to share in that success. Following on from that, we see results from their annual meeting of stockholders. This is where the real owners of the company get to vote on important company matters. It's good to see that a decent chunk of the company's stock, about 43%, was represented at this meeting. This means a good number of shareholders either showed up or sent in their votes, giving the decisions made there some real weight. Quorum meaning that enough people were there to make the votes official. First up, they voted on electing directors. Directors are the people on the board who oversee the company's strategy and make sure management is doing its job. Bruce T. Bernstein was elected to serve until the 2028 annual meeting. This means he'll be around for the next few years. The votes were overwhelmingly in favour. A little over 1 million shares voted for him, with just over 74,000 against, and a small number of abstentions. This indicates strong support for his continued leadership. This next proposal is a bit technical, but very important for how the company can raise money and potentially grow. Basically, the company got approval to issue more shares of its common stock. This is often done when a company sells something called convertible preferred stock or warrants. These are like special types of stock that can be turned into regular common stock later on. The key here is that this approval allows for the issuance of a significant number of new shares, potentially more than 20% of what is currently out there. This is a big deal because it can dilute the value of existing shares if not managed carefully. The votes here were 504,481 in favour, 78,798 against, and a small number of abstentions. While it passed, the against votes suggest some shareholders might be concerned about this dilution. This proposal is directly related to what we saw earlier about increasing the shares available for employee incentives. This is the formal approval for that amendment we touched on. Shareholders voted to approve increasing the number of shares available for the company's incentive plan by 500,000. The vote was 994,315 in favour, 110,637 against, and 22,626 abstentions. Again, it passed overwhelmingly, showing management has good support for their employee reward strategy. Next up, they ratified the choice of their auditors. This is like getting the company's finances checked by an independent referee to make sure everything is above board. They have chosen Stefano Slack LLC to be their independent auditor for the year ending the 31st of December 2025. The vote was highly in favour, with over 3.2 million shares voting for ratification, and very few against. This is pretty standard and shows confidence in their chosen accounting firm. Finally, there is a proposal about the possibility of postponing the meeting. This is essentially a just-in-case measure. The company's management asked for the ability to postpone the meeting if there weren't enough votes on key proposals, specifically Proposal 2 and Proposal 3, or if they couldn't get enough shareholders present to make the meeting official. The shareholders gave them this authority with a strong vote of 3210518 in favour. This shows shareholders trust management to handle the meeting process effectively. And lastly, under exhibits, this is where they attach supporting documents. The main document being attached here is the full text of the amended and restated TAO Synergies Inc 2020 Equity Incentive Plan. This is the big plan we've been talking about, and it is important for anyone who wants to see the exact details of how stock options and awards are granted. They also included Exhibit 104, which is the cover page in a special format for electronic filing. So let's put all this together. TAO Synergies Inc, an emerging growth company, is clearly focused on its future. They're incentivizing their team with stock, which is a common strategy to attract and retain talent when you are trying to grow. They also got the green light to potentially issue more stock, which is often a sign of fundraising or strategic partnerships, but it's something to watch for potential dilution. The voting results show that management has pretty solid support from shareholders on these key initiatives. Now, looking at this filing, TAO Synergies Inc appears to be in a growth phase. Using equity incentives to fuel that growth, the main risk I see is whether the issuance of new shares under Proposal 2 will be a net positive for growth, or if it will unduly dilute existing shareholders without generating commensurate returns. The company's direction seems to be focused on expanding its stock option pool, which can be a double-edged sword. If the company executes well and its stock price rises, this is a great way to reward everyone. If not, it can be a drag on earnings per share. The key opportunity here is harnessing that growth potential, but the risk lies in over-dilution or mismanaging the incentive plans. Alright, that is our breakdown of TAO Synergies Inc. Latest filing, what is your take on these results and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into the financial world. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.